Good day, everybody. Welcome to Fatty Boombalatti Gaming. On today's episode, we are going to be meeting the zombies. We're going to be taking a look at all the different types of zombies, what their actual name in the game is, and of course, what I call them, and a little bit of reasons why. So, let's get started. Okay, so first up, we've got Zombie Darlene. This zombie is your typical zombie you'll find on your first days. Although I don't call her Zombie Darlene because, come on, let's be honest, it's Lois. I mean, yes, she doesn't have the shorter hair, but she's got the red hair, she's got the green shirt, and of course the beige pants. It fits. So we got Zombie Lois. Next up, we've got the lab worker. This one to me is just a lab worker as well. I haven't really come up for a name with her. She's just a lab worker, mostly found in POIs, especially ones that, have to do with Shamway foods, hospitals, and whatnot. She could be considered a doctor as well, scientist, usually depends on what you want to call her. Next up, we've got Marlene. This is, again, one of your typical zombies that you're going to meet in the first day. The nice part about this zombie is if you take a real close look, and I love the face, she's got that eye that's hanging, right? She's just a mess. So, right now, Marlene is Marlene. Again, haven't changed her name. It just fits. Moving on, we've got the zombie nurse. She's just a little bit disgusting. I love the blood animation coming out of her mouth, the stethoscope, right? I mean, she's just a perfect zombie. Again, she's going to be found around your first days as well, and of course in all hospitals and areas like that, including all kinds of different POIs. Great little zombie. This one is the party girl. This is the one with the jiggle. This is the one with the jiggle physics. As you can see, it's pretty crazy. Of course, she's known as the party girl, but I call her stripper titties. The reason I call her stripper titties goes right down to watching way too much Jawoodle on my spare time, and it just fits. It's perfect. So, welcome, stripper titties. Now, in this one, we've got the screamer. She's got a great animation. I mean, look at that mouth. Oh, it's horrible. It's scary as shit. Obviously, this is one of the worst zombies, especially if you're mining. Basically, she's attracted by heat, which means your noise level, your light level. If you're crafting, that has to do with your heat. So the more you craft, the more noise you make, the more, and of course, the farther along in the game and the days you are, the more likely she is to show up. And when she does, if she screams, she sends in a horde of zombies. So basically, this is just the screamer bitch because she's just awful. And of course, last but absolutely not least is Arlene. Arlene is your typical, housewife wearing the summer dress. She is absolutely hilarious. I call her, again, just Arlene. And honestly, she is just a pain in the ass. She is always everywhere. And I don't know what it is about this game, but she jump scares the shit out of me. Constantly. All right, so that finishes it up for the females. Again, a rowdy bunch. Okay, so moving along. Now we're getting over to the male zombies. The first one we have is Bo. Bo is your typical bald zombie. Huge gashes everywhere. I mean, just look at this. It is disgusting. Ugh. Skulls cracked open, ripped apart, fingers destroyed. A great zombie, great animation. Fun Pimps outdid themselves with some of these, so love it. Now, this one I call thick. And the reason is, obviously, if you watch Neebs Gaming, you know that they have all the different characters. And in real life, apparently Thick looks similar to this, and they even made a comment on it in one of their videos. So he's just Thick. Yes, you get thicked constantly by him as well. All right, next one we've got is the Zombie Businessman. Again, he is another great one. Great animation, great graphics on him. He's found everywhere. I mean, he's one of the most common. And again, just runs around looking for you, smashing you up. Businessman, I call the Businessman. Haven't really come up with a name for him yet. We'll figure that out as we progress in the channel. Now we have the Janitor. I call him Plumber just because my years of experience working with plumbers, they've always got their blue jumpsuit on and working and fixing. He just looks like a plumber to me, right? He's down there working on pipe. He just reminds me of a plumber. Now we get to Zombie Joe. Zombie Joe, again, is a nice little character. You know, rocking the boating shoes, rocking the cargo pants. You know, your typical zombie. Great, again, definition on his face, his hands. But I call this one Kenny. Kenny is just stuck around. I credit, again, that one to Glock 9 Gamer. He uses that all the time, and I've just stuck with it. Kenny is just a favorite of mine. I love harassing Kenny when I'm out there. Now moving along, we've got the Hazmat Zombie. He is absolutely horrific looking. You know, obviously he's been in the wasteland trying to deal with the zombie outbreak. And obviously his face mask has been completely destroyed. And just completely awful. He's got the SCBA on the back. For those who don't know, that's your self-contained breathing apparatus. It's supposed to save you from things like this outbreak. Obviously, it didn't work for him. Right? So he's just this hazmat zombie as well. Okay, moving on. Now, this is what they call in the game. This is Mo. Mo is hilarious. He is one tough cookie. And can be found everywhere as well, starting on the first day. He's probably, him and obviously the next one, the Zombie Skater, is probably the two hardest ones you'll find first day or two. They take a lot, especially when you're on your level 1 weapon, club, spear, whatever. And I just call him Mo because, again, he just looks like a Mo. The Thug, right? Obviously, he's got the hoodie, you know, he's rocking the black jeans. He's got his shoes going. And he really looks more to me less like a thug and more like a skater boy, right? Always walking around. He's probably got spray paint somewhere, tagging his name all over the place. Sliding on rails and usually grinding my head in with his fists. So we got skater boy over here. Over here, we've got Steve. Steve is a great zombie. Steve is one of the first zombies that they've actually introduced decapitation, losing of, parts of his skull, things like that. So they've got great animation in that. They're obviously going to be updated in the next alphas to where more zombies do things like that. But I love smacking Steve in the head, watching it blow up, watching him blow up. It's a great character. And again, I just call him Steve. All right, moving on now to Tom Clark. This zombie has a lot of different names. I know Glock 9 calls him Skinny Pete because he's just a skinny little bastard. I mean, Jesus Christ. He's got twigs for legs, tiny little thing. He used to be, the old alphas, he used to be the spider zombie, right? So he used to crawl on all fours. And I think I heard it first from Jaw Woodle. It might have even been Cap. I'm not 100% sure, but they call him Tobey Maguire, or they've mentioned him as Tobey Maguire, because obviously he used to be Spider-Man. I think that's hilarious. Although I do find myself turning to call him Skinny Pete, Again, I gotta stop binge watching Glock 9. Too much influence. Okay, moving on. This zombie, odd enough, is just called Yo. Really? Yo. Hey, yo! What's happening? Again, great detail, great effects on this zombie. I don't even have a name for him as of yet. I'm going to be playing some more, coming up with names for all of these. Or if you'd like, in the comments below, you guys can give me ideas for some of these names. What you guys want to hear? What do you want me to call him? Again, any of the ones that I have not named, feel free to leave a comment and tell me what you think, what he should be called. What could we do? All right, now we've got the construction worker. I love this guy. He actually has a hard hat, and that does count as armor, even for bullets. I don't know where he's been working, but that's a damn good hard hat. And I'm sure my old company that I used to work for would love to find a hard hat that could take a bullet. So anyways, construction worker. He's a real pain in the ass because of that little armor. So again, harder to kill with the bullets and your bat as well. Now we have the spider zombie. This guy is just absolutely horrid looking. Look at that mouth. Oh, the claws. This is why I hate this guy, because he leaps at you, usually jumps right behind you, and then you think, oh, I can hit him, and then he swipes you. He is just awful to deal with, but he's a spider zombie. Obviously, he jumps around. I think he should probably more be the toad. The spider zombie used to be called that because it could climb up walls. You know, so now really, to me, he's more just he looks like the toad if you ever watch or read X-Men comics. Just needs that tongue. Okay, the next one. Oh, shit. Is he dead? Hey, you alive, buddy? Looks like he's dead. But Cap calls him Lieutenant Dan, and I love it. I'll call him a crawler, Lieutenant Dan. Again, between the other ones. Are you? Oh, no, you're alive. You're just motionless. I mean, you take a look at it. I mean, this is just disgusting. Torso ripped off at the hips. Everything's exposed. He's got boils all over his head. I mean, it is just a mess. Great zombie. A lot of times sneaks up on you when you're not looking, or you're looking for zombies in the POI. You can't see him. You're looking at head height, and you're like, where is he? And you just completely miss him, and he smacks your ankles. And here we have the soldier zombie. The jiggle physics in this is just amazing. I mean, look at that. His whole gut is just ripped wide open. Belt, his ammo belt is just hanging there, jiggling. Great design, great look. These are very difficult with all that armor. Just disgusting. Very difficult zombie to take down, and if you get overwhelmed by these guys, you better watch out. Moving on, we've got the Lumberjack zombie. This zombie is mostly found in the frozen biome. He is all over. That, and obviously the bears and the cougars are a big issue up there. But again, a great little zombie. I call him the Lumberjack. Maybe one day I'll sing the Lumberjack song for you guys once we get into our videos. But again, big brute. And hits like a ton of bricks. Over here, we've got the Bert zombie. He is absolutely just torched. I mean, look at that. Knees just burnt right off. Just rotting, burnt flesh. Face is mauled. Again, not a very difficult zombie when you encounter him. He's quite easy. Again, obviously no armor. Quite squishy. But obviously terrifying looking. Now we're on the top last tier of our zombies. Obviously you've got here the biker zombie. Greatly done. I mean, this guy's got his leathers on. Just absolutely awful. You can see the patches on. You know, he's even got his club, death, dishonor, or death before dishonor. I mean, great patch. Great looking zombie. Just, and again, another one of those zombies that hits like a ton of bricks, and of course is armored with that biker's helmet on, and just a nasty guy to get into. Now we've got the tourist. I love that they call this the tourist. I'm sorry, as a Canadian, and don't get me wrong, I'm a fat fuck too. But to have the fat, jiggly belly guy called the tourist is just hilarious. Usually I just call him fat ass, fat bitch, jiggly, whatever comes to mind. Honestly, I sometimes call him Peter too, right? Because I got Lois down below, so you got Lois and Peter. Although obviously he's not wearing just the white shirt. He's got the Hawaiian shirt on. But I'd like to think that in this world before the apocalypse, it was Peter and Lois. And here we have a white. These guys start at Pharaoh and also get radiated. These guys are the absolute worst. They run super fast. They hit super hard. And they take a lot of hit points. They are just, again, evil incarnate, in fact. And they will ruin your day very fast. Very fast. All right, moving along. Now we've got zombies that shoot projectiles. Now this is called the mutated zombie. Bubbles is usually what I use. Again, too many influences off of watching YouTube videos. But Bubbles is hilarious. He shoots basically green acid at you in 4 different directions where he's standing. Obviously damaging your blocks, your equipment, especially if you got on your base, your horde base, etc. So he is a nasty one to get into. And of course, when there's multiple of them, it just spreads all over the place. And it's not a good time. Very difficult to beat as well because he's so bloated on top. Trying to get those headshots half the time because he's moving all over, like jiggling just like this. It's hard to hit his head and is quite a nightmare to deal with. Find him mostly in the wasteland. The cop zombie. This is a great zombie. Now if he can see you, he will immediately start shooting projectile vomit at you, which is just insane. And it hits hard and it hurts. Also damages the fuck out of your armor. Again, do not suggest dealing with him early on unless you've got some good weapons. The other thing is he gets to a point where he basically, if you hurt him enough, he starts to have a heart attack. You actually start to hear his heart pound more and more. And it is just absolutely awful. Oh my God, I can't. Ha! Yo! Yo just died. Standing here too long. But of course, yes, he has the heart attack. He blows up, damages bricks, damages blocks, damages you. Again, you want to kill him before he has that explosion. Although, if you know some tips and tricks, you know that you can get him to explode around other zombies to help you out, especially if you're in tight situations. You're trying to run away and you got to get rid of a lot of zombies. Useful little hack there. Here we have the worst zombie of them all. This is the demolisher. This guy is a nightmare. He is super heavily armored. So, I mean, you will pump in a ton of rounds into him. He is also hits like a brick, destroys your bases and your blocks with ease. And of course, if you notice that flashing button to the left, well, basically, he's strapped himself with a detonating device, and you can see all of these grenades. So if you tickle that nipple, wow, you better put in some bullets before he blows, because when he blows, it is absolute chaos. Yeah. Not a good time. All right. Now that I've had a chance to introduce you to the zombies in 7 Days to Die, now we are going to have them go out with a bang. I hope you enjoyed this little description. I'm going to be putting out a few more of these how-tos and explanations and a little bit of introduction to the game in between the daily episodes that I'm doing as well. I hope you enjoyed. Again, please make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know what you guys and girls are thinking about for names, things I should call these zombies. And that should do it for today. Again, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you have a fabulous day. And don't forget, it's all in good fun.